Secret of Mana is my favorite game of all time.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. You know what?
That one?
Everybody has
That old SNES game that you need a cartridge to play?
everybody has that game that kind of really defines like where they're gonna land on the gaming scale. And I played that game so many times and just thought it was awesome every time. So I was a little worried to go back to a remake of it because I'd played it a few years ago and I still thought it played just fine. But
and a lot of people maybe played on the Super Nintendo Classic where I think it still plays okay, even though you can't play 3 players, which is weird, but what are you gonna do?
So yeah, you can play the 3 players on the remake.
And the remake, real quick, it's coming out on, I mean, is it on everything? Xbox One, PS4?
No, it's on PS4, PC, and Vita, I believe.
No Switch?
I think a Switch version might come later. But they haven't, I don't think that's been announced.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sure. First impulse, I look at it. We did a new gameplay today showing it off, and visuals don't impress me. It seemed like a lot of old fans are ready to vomit because it looks so 3D, vanilla, bleh, iPhone, bleh.
So I'll put it this way. It's been a fun walk down memory lane.
But you were running by the end of it.
Oh, that's a joke. Hey, say thank you, Kim. Say thank you for that joke.
Thank you for that joke. I'm having it's very hard for me to talk about this because it's very sad for me to say that they added voice acting, so there's never any voice acting, and the voice acting is awful. I mean, just it sounds like they took people who had no experience or a little bit and just put them in a booth, and everything is voice acted. Even if you talk to an NPC, it's voice acted. Why not cut the price to have NPCs voice acted to give it to somebody? But anyways, the voice acting, it's so bad that even emotional moments and scenes totally wrecks. You just can't even I'm really having a problem with the voice acting.
Is it super Japanese, anime, over the top kind of voice acting?
A little bit. It's just these characters never really had much a lot of their personality was up to your imagination as you're growing up. It wasn't this guy's this or that. And so now all of a sudden they've given them these bigger personalities too, and it just doesn't feel. Everything just feels off.
It doesn't line up with who they were in your head when you originally wrote them. Okay.
And I'm trying to look at it as no, maybe it's just that I, when I played this, it was different. But that's not even just I recommend turning the voice acting off.
Oh, you can do that.
You can switch to the Japanese voice track, I believe, on there. I did check that.
That's nice.
That might be better.
Is there a classic mode too where you can turn the visuals back to the original?
No, people got mad at me for suggesting that when we did the new gameplay today. And the visuals don't bother me as much as, because I feel it still captures the vibrancy of the world, and the monsters designs all still look really good to me. But
blobbies jumping around.
Mm-hmm. Mush booms and rabbits.
Rabbits.
We all know these.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But I don't know. It's just, I'm having a hard time with it on the sense of the AI is really bad right now. And so
worse than Super Nintendo AI?
Well, I'm going to try to go back and compare. I don't remember it being as bad. Like I said, I'm a few hours in now, when we're saying this, maybe 7 hours or so.
Okay.
And I'm babysitting those biatches constantly. I'm just gonna go out and say it. They're bringing out the anger. All my health items goes to keeping them alive because it's important to still have them alive to distract the enemy. But what I am liking still is those boss fights are just freaking awesome.
Really?
But they're really tough too.
The design or the actual mechanics?
The design and the mechanics with them too. They all do crazy things. Some of the stuff though feels, it's definitely got that old school design that was God, I think I was better at this when I was a kid, where you just get hit by no matter what you do, a fire attack, and you're oh, I couldn't even move out of the way of that, so I'm just going to burn here for a while and hope that I didn't burn through all my health items on my AI. The AI also is walking into walls for me, and another thing was the screen would just stutter and stop in certain places. So here's what is kind of frustrating to me. I feel like they took a game and made it, whenever I feel like you do a remake, you either do justice to the original or you enhance it somehow. Somehow I feel like they've managed to make this game worse instead of better. Yeah. Just my initial impressions on it, like maybe this will change. I don't think so because I've played a lot of it. And so I feel bad that this is almost going to be a lot of people's first experience with the series because it's just rough. And like the game doesn't do you any favors to, explain always what you need to do, how you need to manage things, where you need to go next. They added in a little thing where you can like get a story synopsis to like be like, oh, you should go here. But then you're kind of...
That's nice.
Yeah. And the only good change is that they added... hotkey buttons, so like shortcuts you can put, so you can just have like your health on the R1 button or your magic on the L1 button, which makes, because it was a really menu heavy game when it came out. But I'm still in menus a lot and it seems a little convoluted. So I wish they would have fixed it a little bit more. And even if you can say, I'm going to test out co-op to see if the AI stuff is still, well, if that solves some of my problems, but like I should be able to play that game without people and be okay.
I think a majority of people will try and play it that way for sure. Is there online multiplayer? Do you know?
No.
Oh, there isn't.
It's just couch. They're like staying true to the original was their reasoning. But
did they add any wayfinding or anything? That was something that when I played back in the day, like I got lost. I remember not knowing where to go next. Do they add anything like that? Like, here's where you go next.
Other than the story synopsis?
Just the story synopsis. You go into there. So I've had like a few points where I've been like, okay, I think I go here. And I've been right just based on my own memories of it. But I imagine somebody who hasn't played the game is going to be a little lost.
Yeah.
Also, as soon as they see that first sequence play out with those voices, woof.
Kyle, did you play this back in the day? Kyle Hilliard's here, by the way.
Yeah, hi, Kyle's here. No, I didn't. I never played it, and I was actually kind of interested in playing this version of it. Between you and Dan, just always talking about how much you love that game. I was like,
because you like things that look terrible, right?
I love things that look terrible, but that was gonna be. I should check this out because Kim and Dan always talk about this game. Yeah. I'll play the new version of it, but now I don't know if I really want. I should just go play it on the SNES Classic if I'm going to touch it.
Yeah, that's what I actually am saying, recommending. Like, it's killing me to sit here and be like, this remake is not being as fun as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And
it's the opposite of Shadow of the Colossus on PS4.
Yeah, it really sounds
and
like
I don't even think it's a thing of, the original is bad, you just never realized it type of thing, because I've gone back and, like I said, played that. But what I'm going to do this weekend before I get my review out, so that's why we're holding the review, because I feel like as a big fan, I need to do justice here to this remake, and I want to compare it a little bit more to the original directly and also get in some co-op and see. But I have a feeling too, like people have to be prepared. This was an early action RPG, so there are many outdated elements which they could have changed some stuff around. It's hard because I look at a remake like Final Fantasy 12, which I'm sure was easier to remake, but they took fans' complaints and fixed those issues with the systems. And kind of here, I just feel like the least you could have done is fix the AI, and I don't even remember, frankly, if the AI was that bad or not. Right. But it's
aggravating.
That speaks to it that it never stood out to you, and now suddenly it's standing out to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we all played it when we were dumb kids. I don't know if that really would have popped that much.
I think Kim was pretty smart.
You had to be to play that game.
I was a dumb kid. I played that game.
Doing some of the bosses last night, and I was just like, how did I deal this as a child? I must have been good.
I was a god.
But it's a very important game to me, and I feel like it helped me become an RPG fan. Like I said, I bonded really hard with my grandpa over it, and I find that you can see the unease as I talk about it, because I'm like, I love this game, and I just wanted this to be
But there's a
good.
chance it's continuing what I think people call the mana curse of every game since Secret of Mana's release.
Well, that's the thing too. They want to bring the series back, and it's just we've tried. The series heyday is over, sadly. I don't want it to be, but
Not like this.
Not like this.
Not like
Damn,
this.
I feel like I should apologize. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
this game is so
Hey.
underwhelming.
Well, yeah, I feel
Holy
like people
cow.
are going to get mad at me. And I'm just like, no, I wanted to love it. I wanted it to be everything. I want to be like, you should play it. And I'm just kind of really underwhelmed by it and a little just disappointed.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching this excerpt from the Game Informer Show podcast. You can subscribe to the audio version and listen to new episodes airing every Thursday. We cover big games on the horizon, games that we've just reviewed. We have long-form developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff. So check it out every Thursday.